Hey there, Nick here from the Beard Club. We are at the Dapper Den in Ridgefield, Connecticut, here with Jared, and today we're going to talk about trimming a beard that comes in a little patchy.
So I guess I'll take over from this point.
Yeah, I guess so.
So with the model we have today, obviously we have a lot to work with.
That's a little generous, but...
As you could see, I'm just going to spin him around. With the lightness that he's talking about and the patchiness that he's talking about is more in this region here and here. His mustache and down on the jawline is very thick. So what I personally like to do is very clean lines. So you're going to really get rid of all this excess back here. Some guys like to do more of a natural and just tap little areas. I like hard lines, and especially in this situation, when you cut that hard line down here in the jawline and you clean up around the mustache and the top of the mustache and you blend it in with a little taper action, it's a full cleanup without even getting a haircut. So we're just going to jump right in. So I'm just starting out with the back taper area. I'm going to ask the client to squeeze in straight up. And what I'm going to do is clean up the neckline. So I'm starting from the back of his head to the front of the head. It all depends on how you like to cut hair. Everybody's different with their techniques. And I'm not gonna lie, for the ladies out there, girls probably do not like the hair coming down the neck. I would probably maintain that just as much as you're maintaining your beard. And all this little fuzziness around the ears, whether you're just trimming it with the trimmer or wax or anything like that.
Hey, I was growing that out.
Huh?
I was growing that out.
To do what?
Braid it.
Yeah. This little bit right here makes a huge difference, because even with the shape up alone, the beard looks better. So it's only going to look even more better. Is that proper English? Not really. Now that the back is pretty much cleaned up a little bit, we're going to jump into this taper area. I'm going to start, since I have my liner in my hands, by brushing back all these hairs toward the ear and just tap in and pull down or pull away and create a line. You don't want to push it in too much. You want to stay as far back as possible, but as straight as possible. Now do understand you're going to be brushing it flat now to make sure that if it lays flat and you don't brush it that way, that those hairs, those little hairs, are cleaned up as well. This outside line is probably my most important line, because that will give you the clean shape. And I'm just going to do the same on the other side.
Damn, you can already see a difference.
Yes.
Now, I've always had like a super thick mustache. I'm Sicilian. So what do you typically recommend for taking down like a mustache that grows a little bit faster than the rest of your facial hair?
So I went a couple of different things. Some people leave everything natural.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with that up to a point, depending on what you want. You're not right or wrong. It's what the customer wants. Like myself, with me twirling this, obviously I need more weight on either side. Mm-hmm. I left the weight in the middle, but what happens is it grows in the middle and the edges, and then there's not as much weight. Your mustache is even throughout the whole mustache from right to left. Mm-hmm. So what I would personally do, which we will be doing, is we will lay down the hairs and clean up around the lip line and a little sharpness on the top. If you don't want to go that drastic, then you don't go that drastic. But like I said, I'm more about the sharp lines because it's a little different than what you've done before.
Hey, listen, when in Rome.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm going to have you throw your head back, relax. Now, you have a decent line underneath here, and I can handle this two ways. You could go straight across, or you could kind of round it. I just kind of go with whatever happens at this point. So I'll start off going across, and then I kind of see whether if I don't really necessarily want to do a full circle but I definitely want to round out my sides. If you're into the straight corners, then you can square it off. How you feeling?
Feeling pretty good.
Okay. So since this is not that crazy as most of the stuff that comes in and that hasn't been addressed in a while, all I'm gonna do is kind of take the comb and just even out the sides a little. That patchiness that we were talking about earlier, it tends to lay heavier in this area and lighter in this area, so I'm just gonna be lightening that to match in. And at this point, it will grow out a little nicer too. I think I lost something. Now, obviously, I'm doing clipper over comb, but let's say you have a liner that you're working with that has an attachment. You could do the same thing. Right now, I'm starting with a 3 clip. I'm gonna brush all this flat. And instead of going against the grain, we're gonna lay the grain down. So I'm gonna start off with a 3 and see what that does, which is get the little sprouts off, which is fine, because he really didn't want to take off too much length, right? So that's just gonna clean up this middle section. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna switch over to the 2 and go over your mustache a little shorter. But what you're doing is you're laying it flat. So when you do brush from this point and you lay it down, it should help train it as well. Now all I'm doing is pretty much getting those little crazy flyaways off. This part right here, before I do that, we're gonna tackle the nose hairs. That's a good touch too. Don't be afraid to get in there.
Calling me out, man.
Hey, listen, we all got it. It is what it is. So while I'm doing the nose hairs, I'm gonna have you relax your face. Yep. And I'm just ever so lightly gonna tap the top of his mustache. Some people do not do this. Some people do. I want him to see something totally different than what he's had. So I'm gonna go a little more drastic. I'm gonna tackle his mustache. So when I'm doing this, I'm actually using my comb as a guide within the lip area. And I'm cleaning off that from corner to corner. Not everybody's hair grows evenly. Sometimes it starts to split. I would love the split. You had a beautiful split. And in this case, it will still be there. It will just be cleaner. This is also helping him when he's eating his food. And these little corner pieces, I hate that. So now, obviously, that's different from what you had, but we're not even done yet. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to complete the taper now. Since I tapered out the back of the neck, I'm gonna blend this in a little lighter, and that will give that nice clean look like you got the haircut, but you didn't. So this is still something somebody could do at home. The best advice I could give you is do not try to go high, do not try to cut your hair. Literally just a little blend in that taper from the ear to the beard. Because once you start going high and all that, then it becomes an issue, and then you got a weird haircut, or you got to get a haircut, because then yeah.
I think we've all done that at some point in the last 12 months.
Do not shape your beard up while drinking. I'm a professional. I know what I'm doing.
So you can?
Yes, yes, yes. So like I said, I'm not going drastic on the taper. This is just a nice little cleanness around the lines. Now this is a profile. You could potentially do a straight razor on the neck. Some people are very sensitive back there, so I tend to try to start with this because this pretty much gets it down to a very low level without irritation. But obviously on the face, I'm gonna use a straight razor because we're gonna want those crisp, clean lines.
Hell yeah.
Now, as James gets me that towel, I'm gonna have you lay back, scoot over a little bit to the right, the other right, the left, the other left.
Wow, there we go.
Yeah, we're gonna get this.
Yeah.
I don't know where I am. This is not where I park my car.
I don't.
You're not allergic to anything?
No.
Okay. Besides taxes and debt and all that? Cool. So I'm just gonna start off with a little water. Hopefully you don't get electrocuted by the microphone. That could be cool. I don't know.
It could be fun to watch.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? This is just a little pre-shave. So we're just gonna rub that in.
And what does the pre-shave do?
It cleans out the pores, opens the pores, and softens the hair.
Wow, the service here.
It's a little hot, so we're gonna check that hot towel. So now we're just gonna be throwing the hot towel on. That's not too hot, right? Great job, James. And we're gonna leave that on for 2 seconds.
It's a little hard to see, but
no, it's all right. I'll tell you what to see. You're fine. And then after this, I believe James is setting up my lather. James!
Take the camera out of my face.
Thank you, sir. Can you grab me one more hot towel?
Wow, the service really just.
And I'm not gonna lie, I learned this over the course of, you know, cutting hair and over the years. And, you know, I was kind of set in my ways, and truthfully, some of the employees changed my mind about a lot of things. James being the main employee. But you do see how things react and technology changes. And, you know, at the end of the day, it really is, at least at my shop, it is the atmosphere, but it's also the treatment.
It's kind of nice though. Some of your students become your teacher.
Yeah. Just don't like hearing it every day.
Yeah, well, I mean.
I'm ready for you, James. Thank you, sir. James.
Thanks, James.
He's actually employee of the month. He's the only employee. I did have one employee for like a couple months, maybe about 6 to 8 months. And I was like, dude, you're my employee of the month. Are we doing that one?
Jesus Christ.
James, I'm doing that?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so now what's going to happen is I'm going to take this towel, rub it in.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
That's what she said. Yeah, and we're going to take a little bit of the gel that I was talking about. I like it because it's clear. The lather has their own, the lather does its own job, but I like all the above and going above and beyond. You don't have to go above and beyond.
Well, we like to do that.
Yes. So what I got to do here is stretch the skin to pull it out of the pore. Once I pull it out of the pore, if I stop talking, I could hear it while I'm cutting. Now, right now, I do have to go a little bit against the grain for that sharp line. So what I'm going to do is I'm only going to go 1 millimeter, because otherwise that would cause a lot of irritation. You can go, you know, sideways down and this and that. In his situation, the hair is not that coarse, so we shouldn't have a problem getting right through this. I mean, it's kind of going off like butter right now. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go a little bit against it. How's that feel? You
Feels
okay?
pretty good.
I mean, it is sliding, so you shouldn't feel that much irritation.
Yeah, nothing at all.
While I'm doing it. I mean, like we were talking, I mean, the sensitiveness, it happens. You know,
Yeah,
that's another reason why you might want to do a post shave,
Uh-huh.
because that will help out that
the
irritation. Yeah. So I'm just following the guideline that I did with my trimmer. There's really nothing, no offense, no growth.
Literally nothing on my
Down bottom, which is awesome because like mine connects. And you know, that's just more irritation that I need to maintain. And your beard is pretty much a perfect shape. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna tilt your head a little. Now what I'm doing is I want it to kind of be a little bit of a dry shave. It is a moist shave because, come on dude, come on. Really? You gotta smile when I say moist?
I don't like that word.
Oh, all right, whatever. It's a little bit. It's a little bit of a wet
lubricated
lubricated.
shave.
Lubricated.
Oh, wow, that works too.
Okay, I like that one. So, so it is a little bit, but it's not totally dry. But I like to get this line nice and sharp. I'm gonna have you relax your face a little, and I could totally hear it. I don't think, since we prepped all that, you're having any irritation while I'm doing this.
None at all.
And what I like to do with the dry shave is kind of get a little bit of a dead skin ash line, so I know my lines are even. Even if the hair doesn't grow thick in certain areas, at least I know I cleaned it up perfectly. And that's where your eye will go, to those straight lines. So this is just pretty much a mirrored image of what I'm doing on the other side. Now, obviously, if you're doing this yourself, it's going to be a little difficult for you to catch the corners.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
That I'm catching because you're either right or left-handed, and that's why either my beard looks like poo, or I have James or one of the guys at the shop do it every once in a while, and they'll be able to see things from the outside looking in. All right, so now we're just gonna go with a little bit of coldness to close everything and clean everything. There's a little bit of aftershave, not heavily done. Now usually what I'll do is I will take cold air for a minute, just get rid of whatever burning sensation he has, if any. Plus it's also blowing off any of the excess hair. Now I'm just gonna double check what I did. I see I wanna touch up the nose again. Okay. I'm gonna be brushing him off. Just a little bit of powder. Have you pick your head up.
No, this stuff is nice. It's got like a little bit of hold to it. Like I love our oil. Don't get me wrong, but the bomb's real great.
Okay, so I'm just gonna clean off what we did. You already had your hair cut, so I'm pretty much just styling it the same. Take a little bit of the beard club here.
Should we get sandalwood or?
Sandalwood, yes.
Oh, hell yeah.
Very nice scent. I'm gonna warm it up in my hands here. Massage that in a little bit first. Now, like I said, not over the top, nice, clean, ready to go out.
Damn straight.
How you feeling?
Pretty great.
I think it
Thank
looks
you so much.
really good.
Oh yeah. All right, thank you so much. This is Jared again
Thank you.
we're at Dapper Den in Ridgefield, Connecticut. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for hanging out.